So hello guys, good evening, good afternoon, welcome to the 737 Aviation channel. Today another sector of flying our Honda jet, actually today from Dubrovnik in Croatia down to Ajaccio in French island of Corsica. The flight time today will be about 1 hour 30 minutes, and if you want to follow through or VATSIM or join on VATSIM, you're more than welcome. And you can find all the flight plans in the link in the description below the video. So we just need a couple of minutes. We'll show around the airplane again because since the last stream a week ago that it was some work on that, and it looks already a bit better. It was some minor issues that was fixed. And then we should be flying, so the initial preparation will take about probably 10 minutes. On Honda Jet is really easy and quick, so we shouldn't be longer than 15 minutes here on the ground. So let me just get the flight plan first. I sent it to myself, of course, but where is it? Okay, here we go. Awesome. From inside, it's still looking pretty much the same as before. It had some updates, and you will probably notice that one during the flight, and I will walk you through that. Generally speaking, yeah, visually it's still very nice outside, and inside it's nicely done. So I just noticed we had some new stuff like the wing light or ice light is called by Honda, ice light, just modeled, and the major difference outside, speaking about the textures and visuals, are all these engine covers. They have received all this outside look, like the uh, metal pieces and all the hatches and all the latches they have actually here. So they were completely flat. Now they have some improvements already. So that is already looking like quite nicely modeled jet. For now it is only one livery, as I noticed. At least I have only one colors of that, but it's in, as you see, Jetted. That's the American company doing the share ownership, shared ownership of Honda jets. So last time we flew that one, it was actually flying somewhere down in States, in Florida, I think, or South Carolina. Okay, let's jump inside. So going back to flight deck, it's kind of smaller flight deck here. It's not so spacey as in 737 or any other business jets. It's actually a small one, so getting in here it's a bit tricky in the beginning, but afterwards, after you get in, it's actually quite comfy. So you can spend a couple of hours here sitting and you won't die from your back pain. Anyway, the maximum range of this airplane, the endurance section, that range is about 3.5 hours in the ferry flight with no passengers. So most of the flights we do, it's maximum of like 2 hours. So that's still comfy. So the first thing I've noticed, Marwan, the main developer, has fixed the screen in here, so all the doors that are closed are actually white or gray, whatever you call that, and the only open door is gonna be yellow. So it's already looking like the real Honda in this
warning, okay. System test.
on this page. So there's already some improvement. Otherwise, some visuals that you might notice the difference if you compare the two streams, the one from the last week and the one from today. We're going to be flying in VATSIM, so 122.8 is going to be active and 1215 active on standby. And we want to listen to that one as well. And squawk 2000 instead of 7000. Great. Okay. So once we get in the airplane, we go to utilities initialization and we start from beginning, from the weight and balance. Actually, basic empty weight 7203, crew installs 420 pounds. Let's hit it in. That's a bit ambitious, 200 kilograms for two grown-up guys, but let's say it's 420. We do have one passenger today, and he's weighing about 150 pounds, and we have about 100 pounds of cargo in this airplane, which is giving us a fuel weight of 7,800 pounds, which is roughly, it's not even 4 tons, so it's like 3.5 tons here. Fuel on board, we do have 2770, so almost full tanks today. We're gonna need 2,300, so we have some spare fuel today. It's just loaded like this, so I'm gonna leave it like this. Taxi fuel 100, I go with 80. That's usually enough for this airplane. And landing, it's not modeled yet. This page is not modeled yet, but let's leave it like this. We go to next and set the V speeds in, so gonna be 109, 111, and 120. So the Garmin computer would give you these speeds, but of course it's still on the project until the development, work in progress, as they say. And we accept these speeds, so since that we're gonna have these speeds displayed in the lower corner or the PFD. Go back, accept, and now we can hit the flight plan and at origin Lima Delta Delta Uniform Clippy. That's the name of the airport, Clippy. In States, I did one flight in the US on Honda, and actually those names are matching a bit more than here. Like Clippy is the secondary name of the village next to Dubrovnik, so it might be a confusing one, but that's how it is in Garmin avionics. Lima Fox Kilo Juliet, Lima Foxtrot Kilo Juliet, Campo de Loro. Like, how I'm supposed to know it's Ajaccio or even Corsica, but I have to assume it's that one. We're going to go to waypoint Lasdu, Lima Alpha Sierra Delta Uniform. Next gonna be Lima 611 airway, Lima 611 into waypoint Uvodi, and it's loaded. After Uvodi we are going to go direct to Velug, which is already Italia, or even France, but no, I think it's Italia. No, it's still Croatia. Awesome. Then direct to Elba, Echo Lima Bravo. Italy, Elba. Sounds good to me. Lima 146 to Xopta, load airway. Lima 146 inbound to point Xopta. Then Mole, Mike Oscar Uniform, Lima Echo France. Sounds good. Lima 146. Lima 146 inbound to Bravo Tango Alpha. And it's loaded. Procedure wise, let's actually check the wind here, check the meter. I'm using the real world weather. I'm not using the time, otherwise we would have quite quite a night already. In Dubrovnik it's probably already night time, so clippy. We have wind 310 at 5 knots and Cav OK 11 degrees and 11 degrees, which is corresponding here to 10 degrees. It's fine. QNH 1022. Another thing I've noticed that since the last update I can switch the inches to hectopascal, which is nice. So we can fly back in Europe and use hectopascal like normal people do. But I cannot go here, but I can just 5750-ish. That's gonna be, let's say, pretty much like 3015. And it's set on the right side as well. So 310 at 5 knots basically means that we can depart from both runways. And we are more interested going actually westwise. So departure runway 29er, that should work for us. Last do 1 Victor. Last do 1 Victor departure. We go preview on chart. And it will load up on the screen here. So we're gonna go straight ahead, 294 to Delta Uniform 901, 5000 above, 902, and then last do flight level 110 and 110 here. Initial stop altitude is not depicted, so 110 should work in here. I go with load and then go back to the flight plan and take a look on that one. So we have Delta Uniform 902. It's missing out 901 here. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's Mokun 1 Victor only, as you see in here. Maybe I'm gonna make it a bit bigger, so... Mokun 1 Victor only, so we shouldn't have this point. It's awesome. 902, flight level 110 above. 110. Above. It will be at, but as soon as we reach this point I will just remove that. And that's gonna be our initial stop altitude 110, which is set, and the runway heading is 294. 294. And that should be set just in here. I go with heading select and level change 140. We still don't have the toga which is working, but that's a Garmin thing, so hopefully the working title will fix it up shortly, so we can use the toga switches. For now I'm just gonna use the level change and heading initially, or even I can go nav, why not? Yeah, let me finish up with speed first. So speed 140, then we go back and active nav to the FMS, and then we have FMS in here, and that's all set. So basically she will follow the route straight ahead after takeoff, and we go back to map. So the total distance we have 449. On the flight plan I have 533, but I don't have any arrival yet in Ajaccio, so it works for me. 60 miles difference, it's not really a big difference anyway. Okay, so let's get all these doors closed. Close the main door, and I will jump into the chat if something is happening right there. Anyway, good evening everyone, welcome to the channel. Robin is asking, wonder if those vertical wing mounts provide any substantial lift. Actually, I wouldn't say it's providing any lift, I would say it's just providing the additional side surface. If you have crosswind, it's just making the airplane prone to crosswind. Otherwise, they just making the airplane a lot quieter inside, and that's actual, it's factual, so you can feel the difference flying this one and let's say Phantom 100, which is like twice more louder, and the baggage compartment in the back, it's bigger as well, so that's the biggest advantage of that, but from the aerodynamic point of view, it's not really the best. So, hey Captain, what's the livery of company you fly for? I'm flying for Jet Story, Sierra Papa Charlie Hotel Echo, and it's basically the just a generic gray Honda Jet. Okay guys, so we are in the airplane, we are basically ready to be running, and we have these synoptic pages here. As you see, the lights are magenta, so they controlled by the airplane, and we can actually go to utilities, nope, aircraft systems, and electrical. I can show you how all the electrical systems are going. Are working. So you see those are two systems, and battery 1, battery 2. Honda Jet has two batteries, and they are actually located in this little compartment in here on the left, and likewise the same here on the right. So it's usually we're starting up the engine using the battery power only. We don't have the ground power, but I see that we do have in here, so I can put the ground power on. And you can see that for now it's all disconnected, both systems are separated, and we have a lot of buses that are shared, so those buses are not powered, which means, for instance, that at this moment we wouldn't have the lights in the cabin, because once we are only on batteries they will switch off. So we can go and hit the battery, the ground power on.
Dubrovnik traffic, Sierra Papa Kilo Charlie Tango taxi to runway 29.
And you can see that all the buses are powered and generators are still not working. So let's take a look what's happening when we start the engines. Hit the green button, put the throttle back to idle, and the FADEC will do the job for itself. And approximately 45-50% and 1, this white thingy will go green, and this tiebreaker will close, meaning that generator 2 will provide power to the airplane. It's a bit slow here, but the real one's like taking 5 to 10 seconds to start, like literally. So you see 45% ish it came on bus, and external power is disconnecting itself at this moment. It's actually pretty accurate, like compared to the real one. Yeah, it looks like it's stable, so we can start engine B1. And again, we have here low pressure, low fuel, left fuel pressure low. It shouldn't be here, but it's fine. Again, it's shedding some buses, cabin and shed bus, just to start the engine, because it's just starting now from only batteries. As you see, it's battery power only at the moment. Approaching 40-45%, it will come green, and all the buses are back. Actually, the cabin bus is not, but we can just hit it on and switch back in. So now you see that both generators are working. This one is 55 amps, this one is 35. This is displayed as well here, and as we taxi using some systems, the amps will differ. So like, let's see if the flaps, let's say I go flaps take approach, and this would just fluctuate because of the flaps using the battery power, but it's fine here. It's really nicely done anyway. So flaps take approach, speed brake extended, and it actually extended, and we should check it here on this little display. And retracted, and the flight controls. So forward, back, left, right, and rather left, center, right, center, and that's the before taxi procedure. So those flight controls are not powered in any way, so it's like in Cessna 150 or something. It's just cable connected to the control. I heard somebody was texting, but it's here yet. So, and Jedi Fortitude taxiing to runway 29 at Dubrovnik. Yeah, I'm not going to use the pushback here, so just taxi out. And as we taxi, we might need some taxi chart in here, or airport chart. Yeah, let me stop anyway. Airport, 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 parking stands. Ah, there we go. We're gonna use that one. And we'll taxi basically all the way to Echo, which is perfectly enough for this airplane. 3,200 meters. From Echo we have 2,400 and we need about 1,000, so about twice more than we actually need. And this little magenta airplane is displaying your position all the times, so you basically know where are you at the airport. Cześć Daniel, hej. Okay.
Dubrovnik traffic Sierra Papa Kilo Charlie Tango departing runway 29er.
So there is our colleague flying as well with us today to Ajaccio. That's nice airport down in Corsica in France. If you read the description, this airport is a category C airport, so if you need to, or if you want to fly there, you will need a simulator training prior to flying there. So every single pilot flying to Ajaccio will need training. It's same like, for instance, Innsbruck or Madeira. If you flying to Madeira or Innsbruck, you have to be trained. So there is some discrepancies. See, there is taxiway Golf going straight ahead, but in the MFS it's not. So it's just missing the taxiway. That's fine. Anyway, Microsoft Flight Simulator is nice looking, but it will still need a lot of work before getting to the level of prepare or explain, but give it some time, probably it will be good as well someday. So we have flaps and we have trims at 4 units. Otherwise everything is automatic, so we don't really need anything. Flaps up 3 units, flaps take approach 4 units, so simple on this one. And if we want, we can go to the status page and observe the lights. So we have the beacon nav lights, and as soon as we get into the runway, we'll have the strobe lights. Jedi Fortitude lining up to 9, very good. So as we start rolling, the taxi light will come on. And let's see if it will recognize the runway as a runway. So I'm not going to need this map anymore. I need this map then. Oops, I'm a bit too nervous with my taxi today. Okay, so let's get the transponder as altitude reporting. It's on. Awesome. On the previous version it was not, so you had to switch it on manually. Okay, once we are on the runway, Jedi Fortadell taking off to liner Dubrovnik. Let's go. So we don't need to wait for engines to be stabilized. We can straight ahead hit takeoff. Takeoff power set, speed of life. Now the strobe lights are on. 80 knots. V1, rotate. Positive rate, gear up. And we have level change 140, so autopilot can be on any time. Just let it fly off the ground a bit. The minimum use for the autopilot is 1000 feet, but if you use it early, nothing happens. So nicely flying in hand flying, so let's enjoy that for a moment at least. Yeah, we have 1000 autopilot on, flaps up, and thrust lever sensitivity. And since we've done that one, we can go speed 210 knots, which is our standard climbing speed. Map setting, and I don't want to have terrain, I don't need that. And the traffic, I saw that the traffic is actually depicted on Garmin's already. So our colleague is plus 9,000 feet in here. And he's flying, I think, Legacy 600, so probably he will be way faster than we are, and he's just in here, but it's a blinking light. So, set standard, pressing the button will set you standard. Here we have to go to 992, and the right side is standard, and after takeoff checklist, so flaps are up, gear is up, and standard is set. That's basically what you have to check on the jet. And we can continue our climb to the cruising level, which is 410 today, as there is no ATC on the way yet. Maybe somebody will come over Italy. We can straight ahead jump into 410. Disabling can fly all the way up to 430, but probably the winds are better at 410, so that's the reason. And we have the outer marker of Dubrovnik. Actually, I go 370 for now, and I can show you the city of Dubrovnik. We could do the visual flight over there. It's a really nice city. Dubrovnik is one of the most beautiful places in Europe for me. Except in Montenegro, which is a bit further east. And that's the old town, which you probably know from the Game of Thrones. So nicely modeled, even in default, it's nicely modeled. And then into the airport, so once you're flying in at into runway 11, you are just flying over the coastline, like we did on the previous stream. And if you just pass Dubrovnik and follow through like 3-4 minutes, you have that, which is really nice place. And actually it's completely different than Dubrovnik, despite being like 40 kilometers away. So okay, flight of 100, fuel is balanced, lights all normal, I hope. We basically check if we have touched any lights or not. They should be normal, they are normal. Air compress, climbing set, and the passengers, yeah, the seatbelt sign and the no smoking. You control from here, and the passengers are released. That's the 10 checks we do. You can do the 10 checks like this on pretty much every airplane. Following fuel, lights, air compress, passengers, and it would work. It should work for you as well. So going back here, the airplane is nicely climbing. I can take a look at what's happening in the chart. Robin asking, did you say no physical control connection such as cable? Actually I said it's only physical connection, it's only cables. There is no hydraulics or any other electrical enhancement to the flight controls, it's just manual. So the airplane feeling, the real one, is really nice. You can feel every bump, every turbulence, and you feel that you are under the control. So 100 viewers, yes. So basically everyone, good evening, good afternoon, depending where you are. And welcome to 737 Aviation. Once again we're flying, as you see, probably from Dubrovnik to Ajaccio, the French island of Corsican, in this beautiful Honda jet made by Marwan Gari, who is on the chat as well, so welcome Marwan. This airplane will be released probably pretty soon. It's still work in progress, and if you want to have some more details about that, join Marwan's Discord page for any updates. But at the moment it's still work in progress, but it's really nicely done. So I hope it will be one of the first good add-ons to Flight Simulator. Yeah. And it's probably gonna be payware, because people saying, asking here, but I don't know the details. Anyway, and recently, so actually yesterday, we have started our new series, and we started the simulator type rating for the Boeing 737. If you would like to visit that, it's just on the channel, on the most recent videos. I have done this project in my Polish channel, as some viewers might know, and many of you send me private messages to make the same project in English, so we actually started doing that in English. I'm not native, but hopefully you might understand what I'm saying. So if you wish to join the virtual 737 type rating, be welcome to see the channel main page. Probably should be just on the top here. Now passing flight level 200, and as you can see, we're still maintaining quite a nice climb rate. So Honda Jet is climbing really nicely up to levels approximately flight level 300, then the climb rate is getting like 1500-ish per minute, which is not really amazing, but that's the Honda. Those engines are just a bit too small for this airplane. I mean, that's enough for flying, otherwise if they mounted bigger engines it would be probably really fuel consuming and the range would just drop. So at the moment destination fuel is 780 pounds and the flight plan is saying approximately 700, and the alternate for Ajaccio is Fiumicino, Roma Fiumicino. So in any case we won't be able to land in Corsica, we have to go to Roma Fiumicino. So we are operating at the real world weather, and I haven't checked the weather yet, so that should be a good point to do that before we departed. Lima Fox Kilo Juliet, Lima Foxtrot Kilo Juliet. I hope I haven't switched anything, because when I'm typing in it's actually moving the things inside the cockpit. So 050, 6 knots cavalcade, and QNH 1029er, no significant change. So what I was speaking about, the name of the airport is Ajaccio Napoleon Bonaparte Airport, and if you go to the flight plan, this message, by the way, is associated with the MFS, so you should disregard it. And if you go to the flight plan, you have Lima Fox Kilo Juliet, Ajaccio Napoleon, and here you have Campo del Oro, which doesn't really make any particular sense. At least you have to double check the ICAO code, otherwise you might just type in any other airport and get lost. Awesome. Lima Fox Kilo Juliet, and once we get to the cruising level, I will show you the charts of the Lima Fox Kilo Juliet, which is, as we said, Cat Charlie Airport, Category C airport, and it might be tricky. Today, probably with this wind, it won't be tricky, but if it's windy, it's just in the valley, and it's getting, yeah, you can get in trouble there, so we'll see anyway in a second. We do have some traffic passing by, and that's our colleague from the channel. As you see, he's plus 9,000, he was 9,900, so we just catched up a bit on him, but he will probably get further away. And we have some traffic in here, we have some traffic coming in here, plus 100, so 380. And this guy is probably proceeding to Lasdu or Vodi as well, so we might need to reduce the rate of climb or something, just in order not to hit him. And I wanted to check something, because if I hit the vertical speed, awesome. So the last update, if I hit the vertical speed, the speedback was gone, and actually it is available like in the real one now, so it should be like this. Despite the Honda doesn't have the auto throttle, you have this feedback all the time, so if the ATC tells you like maintain speed 200, you can just put it 200, so you remember what did they say to you. Flight level change to 10 for now, or actually we can go even flight level change 59er. There we go. So this guy is passing somewhere on the left. It should be fine. It should be just fine. We have to consider that Honda is quite slow. Regular airliner would climb at 0.77, 0.78, and we are climbing out at Mach 0.59er, so we are like 25% slower than the airliners. That's because of the straight wing, which is in here. We don't have swept back wings, so that's the reason we are getting quite slow. Okay, we can go to the traffic page as well, and the traffic page looks like this. Traffic settings, you can go relative or absolute. So relative will tell you plus 6,200, absolute will tell you at flight level 380. He says flight level 380. We can go relative, I don't need to know the real altitude. Motion vector, the same. If you put relative, it's just going green and showing the difference between us and this guy. And you can see that he's quite significantly faster than we are. He still has green vector of like 1 centimeter here, so and absolute, that's all his speed he has. Altitude range, above, normal, below, or unrestricted. If you go normal, it will show you just the traffic plus minus 3,000 feet. If you go above, it will show everything above. Same with below, and unrestricted will just show every traffic on the page. It's not really busy on that sim, so I can go absolute. But if it's a busy day, I just go normal, so I don't see 100 points around. It should work like this for now. Nice, nice, nice. Map settings. Where are we at the moment? Fuel ring, airports. I would like to have airports. And airways I don't need. Intersections, I don't really need intersections. Roads, cities. Just wonder if I zoom it in, if it will show me the city now. Maybe I have to go with map detail at highest. Okay, just not in the database probably, so I'll leave it like this. Just wondering if somebody is on the control. Chris Klosowski is Golf FSS. I'm just wondering because I know this guy probably.
Autohero to twój wirtualny
Whoops, that's my YouTube, sorry guys. That's in live map. It's actually quite busy over here, so... But there is no control yet. And I'm here, Kilo Charlie Tango Cessna 25 Charlie, so that's citation. He shouldn't be so much quicker than we are. If you hold the shift key on your keyboard and scroll the knobs, it should scroll up or down quicker. Okay, we'll take a look at that. Let's say heading select and hold shift. Does it scroll quicker? Maybe a little. How about the altitude? Okay, that was a good one, thank you very much. Didn't know it. You are always learning, so thank you very much for that. That's nice advice. And what else? Swiss speed, nice jet. Actually it is. Hawks 1326, hey Captain, thank you for sharing your content on this 737 in English. You're welcome, you're welcome. Yeah, it should be... I want to be ready for MSFS PMDG 737. Apparently you will have quite a lot of time for that, so PMDG just released some another statement that they still work in progress. But I was kind of expected, so nothing surprising. And to be honest, I prefer that they actually work on it and then release the product that is already flyable, not like Captain Sim 777 in the MFS, which I paid like 30 bucks and it was just piece of garbage. So hopefully they will release something that is nice, flyable, and we will enjoy that, and PMDG probably will do the job as well. I have the DC6 in here from the PMDG. It's really awesome. So it's really awesome. I mean, you cannot really fly it anywhere because you don't have airways anymore in Europe. So we are curious to see the first airliner that will be really nice in this game. So just keep waiting. Hopefully keep waiting. What is that meter viewer mod? It's actually, I have it since like a year. It's called Meta Viewer. It doesn't even have the icon here anymore. It used to have some icon, but it's gone. So I don't know what is it. It was freeware, I think. This meter viewer, but it's not anymore. So. Time to buy YouTube Premium. No way. Thank you very much. Where are we? Croatia. Kaspar Urban. Yes, actually we are just over Croatia. And I'm not really sure about that, but I think this was... maybe not. This was Rab, the island of Rab. Or maybe not, because that's Split. We're just passing Camping Split and heading towards the Italy. We're gonna fly over Roma, almost over Rome, and then start descent into Corsica, Ajaccio, Corsica. It's a little strange how the light blinks on the surfaces. Yeah, probably. I don't know the reason for that, but I get it in every airplane LFS, so just got used to. It's like a broken light bulb in the school when you were a kid. It was just blinking, and after 2 hours or something you just get used to. So we have top of climb here for 10, and I'm gonna jump into the flight plan. In the meantime the airplane will accelerate, I will let it accelerate. And top of climb we should have about 1800 pounds. And we have 2300 because I had a lot of extra, so we don't need to really go slow, we can go almost maximum speed. So let's say 7-1 should work for that. And the next point is Uvodi, and again 1500, 1600, so I have a lot of extra. So the fuel is not a threat. I put it back from MCT and I hit the CSC button, which is cruise speed control. It works like cruise speed control in your car, pretty much. So it's not the auto throttle, but it will hold the speed at which it was engaged. And that's another thing that Marwan has been working on for a week. So before it used to be 0.703 and it was maintaining 0.69, and now it's just on the spot. Okay. I'm waiting for a good ATR for P3D or MSFS. I don't think we have any good turboprop add-on except Dash 8 for now. Is that main view same as in real plane, or are we just in a low position compared to the real one? I would say that's pretty much the same when I'm flying, and once I'm getting to the cruising position I put my seat down, and it would look pretty much like this. So during the landing phase you basically can see 2 or 3 teeth. It's like these pieces on the windshield. If you see all of them, you're basically a bit too high, but it's probably like this. So I'm a bit low in here. Yeah, that would be... yeah, now it's too touchy. So it'll be like this-ish. And those teeth on Honda Jet are actually gold pieces of like foil or something, and they are providing the electrical power to the window for electrical heating. Okay, so we are on the cruising altitude, and I do believe we should start preparing for the approach. It might be a bit complicated here, so Let's go to charts and Lima Fox Kilo Juliet, and we do have this airport here. So as you see, it's just lying on the coastline and it's perpendicular to the coastline. So if you're landing on the runway 02, it's not much of effort except the missed approach then, because you're approaching from the sea. It's nothing really special. But if you're going from the wind is from the other side, you don't have any approach on this runway, on runway 20, so you have to follow kind of visual approach in the valley. So what was the wind once again? Let's go take a look on the wind. It's 050 at 6 knots, so it's basically a right crosswind, and we should land on runway 02. But we might as well do the visual circling to 20, just to show you that, why not. We're going to go from Bravo Tango Alpha, which is Bastia, and we're gonna go Bastia to November, I think. No, that's Arnav, and that's Arnav as well. I don't know which one I would get in real life, so let's say it's gonna be Bastia to November. Flight plan procedure, arrival, runway, and the runway. 20, Bastia to November, and show on map. So it's Bastia, Kilo Juliet 850, 830, Papa Flasfa, India Sierra, and then from India Sierra we're gonna start the approach, and let's load that. And the approach, we have ILS 2, runway 2, X-ray Yankee Zulu, and we have Arnav 20. A couple of years ago we haven't had that. Okay, so it's just bringing you through the mountains here, all the way to the runway. But let's go and take a look on that one and approach. I want 20, and we have VPT Alpha and VPT Bravo runway 20. Let's go VPT Alpha, which is basically visual approach with prescribed tracks. So we start from Itdol and then go all the way into the runway, which we can actually do, because why not? So the Garmin FMS, it's not really the perfect one, the best one, so you cannot really create all these waypoints. You can just follow that on this chart, so that's the only way you can do that. At least you have this magenta airplane, and as you see, you have this mountain here and another couple of mountains around, so you have to fit into the valley and then turn right and land. And in this case, miss approach is really easy, so nothing special about that. Procedure, approach, and we want to have... I don't want this Arnav thing. Let's just create it myself. Just take a quick look on the flight plan, cancel, and it doesn't have any restrictions yet, so we go to arrival, Bastia to November, and I want to have, or maybe it's just bringing me to the other point. Yeah, definitely, it's this one will bring me to Horro, and this one to Itdol, so I want to get to Itdol. So Bastia, then we have Kilo Juliet 850 at flight level 125 or above. Flight plan cancel. And 125 should work. Then we have Kilo Juliet 830 8500 above. Then we go to Lasfa with no restrictions, and Itdol at 4000. So to be at Itdol, Lasfa, and then should be Itdol, so that's not the point I want to have here. just assume that that's the point I want to go, and we're gonna fly visually into the valley anyway. VNAV enabled, and we have 34 minutes to the top of descent. So still some time here. Before we start descent, we should basically take a look on all systems, how they're operating. If there is no magenta or shaded passes that should be shaded. You usually would get the message on the CAS message here if something is wrong, but you might not get it. Okay. So, back to you guys, and we'll see what's happening on the chats. So, let's take a look from outside. That's the best part of Microsoft Flight Sim 2020, so you can enjoy the views. It's way better than X-Plane 11 in terms of visuals. Dash 8 from Majestic British. Yeah, that's a good one. Except I'm not flying the Prepper 3 Prepper. So. I think the GPS screens should be a little more contrast and juicier. Okay, so I would say they actually kind of this. Maybe they have a little more contrast itself, but you probably can find some pictures of the Honda Jet inside on my channel, or even landing videos of Honda Jet. And during the daylight, they actually look like this. So maybe you can control that somehow. System controls, interior lights. That's the cockpit overhead. There should be a button as well for the light trimming, and you can basically trim all the lights, all the screens separately. But I would say they actually look like this. They don't really differ from the real one. And you have even fingerprints on the screens, like nice touch. So going back to the cabin, maybe some of you saw the cabin already, maybe some of you haven't. It's actually looking quite amazing, and if you're flying a real Honda, if you're buying a real Honda, if you have $5.5 million, you can buy one of these, and if you want to buy this, you can basically choose all the color schemes, like, you know, the leather colors, the wood colors, etc, etc. So it's quite small one. It's a small jet. It was more designed for the private owners. So it was for the US market mostly, and it's not really for commercial operation because of the range. If you have 4 people inside and 2 pilots, the range would be like 1 hour 20 minutes. So you cannot get too far. And in the US, they sell it to the private guys. It's a lot of private guys because it's single pilot certified as well. So, you know, doctors, lawyers, etc, etc. And they're flying across the states in that one. In case they want to have the family, they can do that as well. But it has a toilet, which is quite unusual in these small jet stuff. And yeah. You see it's American because you have a lot of cup holders all around the place. So in European planes and cars you don't have that. And the small toilet, which is crouching position toilet, with the skylight, which Marwan modeled last time. So you have a little tiny window just overhead here, so you can take outside when they're shitting. I don't know why Honda did it, but now there's somebody flying, and you have the skylight toilet here. That's fun stuff. Why he's slower than me? Just wondering why this guy is slower than me. Nobody's slower than Honda Jet. Let's go to traffic and motion vector relative. And he's moving away to the right side. Absolute. Maybe he just seemed to be slower than me. So we just reached the east coast of Italy. I don't really think there should be any snow in this part of Italy this year, but just a simulator. And we are heading towards Rome, and we have top of descent just over to Rome. Roma. And at the moment I can show you the VFR map. We are just approaching Pescara. We just between Pescara and Ancona, flying toward Perugia, and no, we're not going to overfly at all. Sorry, my bad. Grosseto. I don't know where is it. Then we're gonna turn left all the way to fly over the north half of the island. We'll get towards the bay in here, and from here we'll fly manually into the bay in here, and the airport is just over here, so we're gonna land on runway 20. So we have to enter this bay. Maybe it's not bay, but you have the mountains here, so valley, not bay. That's my mistake. We have to enter to the valley and then turn right and land. Hopefully it will work. If not, we'll give it a try again. I haven't been there for a while, so we'll see. 95 people here, so awesome. Everybody, welcome to 737 Aviation. I landed in Dubrovnik recently. Explained it was windy, even up to 30 knots. Is that there so often? It's actually quite often that it's windy in Dubrovnik. The airport is a bit elevated over the sea, and you have the mountains, and there is a lot of wind coming down from mountains, so we have basically left crosswind when landing on runway 11 in here. Robin, I have a CRV and my daughter has a Civic. Why not add a Honda Jet? Actually, yeah, if you have 5.5 million flying around, why not? I would do so as well, totally. I have a Honda Civic 1988 and a Honda Shadow motorcycle as well 1988, so yeah, somehow addicted to Hondas. I mean, I don't have Honda Jet, and I had this car and bike before I started flying Honda. Greetings from Cyprus. Hi Mario. Which part of Cyprus are you from? I used to live in Paphos for a while, so. Miroslav asking, silly question, do you wipe the stairs before folding in when it's raining? It does make a mess. Actually, that's a good question, because as you see, you have this side-facing seat here. And one of these steps, actually this step, the step number I think is 2, it will fall down and will create a table for this guy. Otherwise, if there is nobody flying here, and it's really not often that somebody is flying here, we don't care. It's all just going down from here and sinking into the carpet. And and once you get the air conditioning running, everything will get dry within like 2 minutes. So you know, the humidity when the air conditioning is on in the airplane is very close to 0%. So not so big problem, and the airplane is getting dry washed every like 10 flights anyway, so you don't see a mess here. But it's a good question. Hi Captain, will implement the light dimming. It was usually in the working title but was removed at some point. It would be nice. I mean, I switched it on during the night time already, just to try how does it look in the night time, but for me it's enough. I wouldn't say it's not really the highest priority if you have anything other to do about that, but it would be nice, definitely. Hi Captain, hi Mario. Nicosia, that's a nice city, a bit split between two nations, but it's a nice city. Greetings from Abuja. That's far away, kind of exotic. Do you see this flashing on the dash? Yes, I do see it. So I'm not sure if it's just me, but any airplane in the MFS, I just have this flashing light here. So that's quite normal in the MFS, at least for me. I don't know the reason, and every time they give me the word update on MFS, it won't be working and it will be glitchy. So I heard that the new word update is coming out soon, so we should enjoy MFS before I will lose it again. Kamix asking, can passengers set the temperature in the part of the cabin? Yes, of course they can. So if you go to the thermostat page here, you can set cockpit and cabin yourself, but if you hit the button cabin control, which I cannot switch on here, but it's not really important here. If you switch on the cabin control, there is, under this panel, it's basically opening up like a drawer, and there is another screen. It's not like the FMS, but it's just passenger screen with the route, etc. And they can control the temperature. And they do have the same screen, the touch screen, just in this armrest. So this cover is lifting up, and you have the another screen with route and temperature and media if they have loudspeakers in here. So basically in Honda Jet they can play music in the cabin. It won't have any speakers if it has this option anyway. At least no physical speakers, because it has this kind of technology that the walls are used as speakers. So if it has these options, they can control the music from here. Yeah, we there yet? We are not there yet. So Roma is just here. That's my bad. Elba, and then top of descent inbound to Corsica, Ajaccio. Yeah, of course it looks amazing. FS 2020 is the best looking game so far. Even my computer is not the best one, so that's kind of average settings, and it's still way better than Xbox 11. But it's still a game, so we don't have really nice add-ons just yet. Hi Mark, how are you doing? Do passengers have internet on board? Actually, in the new Hondas they have this option to have the internet, but so far not. I mean, at least not in my airplane. So the newer ones, they can have the internet connection, but we do have the internet, but it's kind of internet for downloading the weather only. So you cannot get the browser and browse Facebook or YouTube or whatever. But you can check the weather, you can go to weather, and then you have the Connext weather, which will download the weather all around the world. And you can send emails, and you can make a satellite call to the company, for instance. So it has the satellite phone with the internet. That's the answer. But no, the passengers cannot use that. Let's go outside for a while and enjoy the view before we start descending. Buongiorno, Italia. So we are over Italy, and we are Marciano, Perugia. So we just passing Perugia. Nice. So basically, MFS is really nice if you want to fly VFR flights or low-level flights. I'm not saying like flight level 410 like at the moment, but if you would like to take a Cessna and fly just over the Perugia, and that's the, I think it's Umbria region in Italy. I think it's Umbria, yeah. And then you can enjoy the views. For the airline flying, doesn't really matter, like, because most of the time you will spend in cockpit staring at the screens like this. So. But why not? You should enjoy that. Mark Johnston, I saw one of those in real life. I was surprised to see how comfortable they were inside. That's actually correct. If you get into the flight deck seats are comfy, quite comfy, and the passenger seats are obviously really nice, and they just slide all around the cabin. So if you pull one of these levers, it will just slide inbound or outbound, forward, back, etc., etc. And you can lie it down about like 45 degrees, so they're really comfy. The problem with Honda is that you cannot really stand up. It's like 1 meter 50 centimeters. Even you had this cut in here, so the floor is a bit lower here, but top to bottom is like 150. So the longer flights you won't be able to really stretch your legs too much to stand up properly. And they're making the new Honda Jet Hotel Alpha 2600, and it will have a range of 2600 nautical miles with this kind of speeds. So it will mean it will fly about 6 or 7 hours. So basically you're gonna be stuck in this kind of cabin, and it will be the first very light jet to have this kind of range. So coming soon, hopefully. I mean, not soon, because they just presented that in Las Vegas in November, I think. So before they do the first flight and certify it, it will take probably a couple of years anyway. Maybe some of you will remember that they were talking about the Honda Jet since early 20s, like early 2000s, not 20s, maybe even there was some prototype in 1990s, it was 1993 or something. So the first commercial flight was 2015 or 16, so it took 22 years to produce the final airplane. So I guess it was one of the slowest made jets in the history. Hopefully the new one won't be so long, because they will basically use the same cockpit and same tail section and same probably cabin sections as well. So hopefully it won't take so long. It will be most likely the same configuration with the over the wing engine mount. They call it some weird way. So we'll see. We'll see. How long does it take for Honda to produce that? We still have 54 minutes to top of descent. Ah, interesting. And it's still ascending, so no, definitely not. We are proceeding to Elba, Elba, cancel. Maybe I can hit some thing to reactivate that. Activate like to waypoint Vodi to Veluk. Are we flying to Veluk? Yes. Now we're flying to Elba. That's bad. We basically just got stuck on the previous sector, on the previous leg. Ah, there we go. So we have 5 minutes to top of descent. No, you're not going there. Just don't turn. Okay, fine, whatever. We're not too far off route anyway. Are we? Come on. Back to heading, and let's go back to track as well. For some reason, Garmin is giving you some weird indication sometimes. It's like 6 miles cross track to the right. Like I'm almost on the track here, so why should I be cross track? What I'm gonna do is just navigate direct to Elba using heading select, and then switch on after we pass the point. Fuel, let's go to fuel and take a look. We still have center tank, a lot of fuel in the center tank. Miles High Club, yes, so excited for this Honda Jet. 1998 Honda Civic Si. That's a nice one. Is it a Civic 5 already? Or 6 even? If you can't stand the Honda Jet, why not lie down? Do the seats recline? Yeah, they do recline. So the most of the people will do like recline a lot and then put your legs up here. But it's still not standing position, so it's quite nice. You will survive the 3 hours flight in Honda, but if they make a new one to fly 6 hours, it will be pain in the ass. So. Mario asking how much does the Honda Jet type rating cost? It is approximately 45,000 euros, so that's quite expensive, but business jets are more expensive than the airliners, basically. Honda Jet has 2 simulators around the world only. For a long time we had just one in Greensboro, North Carolina, and they opened, last summer they have opened one in Farnborough in UK, which is actually saving a lot of time and money, but it's still expensive. Robin from Albuquerque, New Mexico, USA. That's far away, man. That's far away. At least you have better weather than I do have back in Warsaw, Poland, which is like 1 degree Celsius and it's raining the last 2 days. Where can I download to run the tests of Mile High Club? You can actually join the Marwan's Discord page, and there will be some details on the release of this airplane. It's still work in progress. I mean, in my opinion, it's almost done, or it's at least it's good to be released at this level, but Marwan is working on that still, so hopefully soon we'll have this on market. have 1 minute 20 seconds to double descend. So let's prepare for that one. We're gonna start descending to flight level 120 initially. Does it help if I hold shift? Yeah, not really. Maybe a little, so. So I have 120, I go vertical speed, disconnect the CSC by moving the throttles, and vertical speed 1000 initially. And since I have this speed bug here, I can set it like 7.2, so I know the maximum and I won't exceed that one. So that's a nice feature we have now. And if I were instructed by ATC to maintain 7.0 or less or 6.8 or less, I would set it just here and have the limit. So, cool feature. I thought it's gonna be impossible to implement, but this wasn't that bad. It took you a week, so yeah, of course, a week is a lot. And we're getting close to the track now. That's the working title Garmin. And working titles working into Garmin as well. I probably have to download the update. I don't have the update yet. I mean, I haven't done any updates since some time. And yep, we can hit now. So he will go right and then left, but it's acceptable distance for me. Elba. And from Elba we go to Sopta, whatever I call the point. Two towns from Albuquerque as well. The world is small, guys. The world is small. And you can realize the world is small when you're traveling. Like I was traveling to, I think, Sri Lanka, or from Sri Lanka, and I was in Dubai. So I had this like 1 day off or half day off. So I went to the city center, to Dubai Mall, which is like the biggest freaking mall in the world. So I'm sitting there having coffee, and there's a guy coming to me like, "Hello, how you doing? I haven't seen you since the high school." So I was like, what the hell? Come on. It cannot be so small, but after a while you're gonna realize that it's actually a small word. Minus 2000. Vertical target 2200, required 2400. And yeah, we are approaching the vertical track yet, so reduce throttle a little. And I think that Marwan has tweaked the engine sound, or I'm wrong, but I don't hear the engines anymore at this altitude, which is quite real. So if you did that, awesome, well done. What happens if I don't want this restriction, because we are quite far away, 127 miles, so we should be at 360-ish. Cancel, just remove that one, and just remove that one. Yeah, we should be just there. Maybe even less, rate of descent of 2000 initially. How much up and down vertical speeds are comfortable for passengers? So basically, there's no such limit. Like you know, some people are afraid to fly, some not. So it might be different from person to person. But basically, if you're using anything up to 3,000, you have like, you know, 2 degrees, 2.5 degree down. So that's not really vertical dive or something. So it's not really bad. Of course, if you give them 6,000 feet per minute, that's probably gonna be something that you can already feel. And on climb, you don't do anything. You don't have any limits on climbing. Like you're not climbing at vertical speed. You just hit the level change and see where's the airplane going. And close to ground, obviously, it's gonna give you like 4,500 feet per minute, or even better sometimes, or less. So that's kind of average. Did you enjoy your time in Paphos? Actually, I did. I was living there for like 3 or 4 months. It was May, June, July, August. So, you know, June, July, and August for the guy from the north of Europe, it's a bit hot, especially that you have to work there, and you have to wear your uniform every day, and you're basically melting. But it was fine, cool place, a lot of Russian tourists. So. That was surprising for me, and yeah, I did enjoy that, definitely. Speed selector, let's go, 250, and maximum is 270, but we can go 250 just for reference. We don't want to go too fast anyway, we're not in a hurry. Israel is writing the FMC. Issue is when you have double same fix, like last in route and first in approach. Jeriel, hey Jeriel. So you're saying that I have this issue. I heard that this issue is coming from the flight simulator because I'm not setting the route in the flight simulator. I don't have destination, so it's just going this place. One day I have to go and check if I input all the what will happen if I input the destination in flight simulator. Hydraulics. So you can see that in hydraulics we have just one reservoir and one single DC pump. So that's not really complicated system, and we have 3 accumulators. If I keep pressing the brakes, nothing happens because we're in flight. So what about the parking brake? Yeah, you can see I'm discharging a little of pressure, but it's like when you're using the brakes, when you press the brakes, keep pressing the brakes, it will discharge this accumulator, and eventually this pressure and the pump will come on and pump it back. So on the ground you can see it, here not really, but that's not really complicated system on the jet. So the seatbelt sign is on, and there is no sound for the seatbelt sign, so it's kind of useless, and it's just in here, so they cannot really see that, and they don't hear the sound, so you can basically yell to them like we're landing in 5 minutes or something. That's it about the Honda. Flight load 250, and yeah, going down to 120 initially. A bit less of thrust. As you're descending, the engines are getting a bit more powerful, so during the descent you will have to retard your thrust from time to time, not to exceed the maximum speed. And whether the passenger have complained about your flying style in Honda Jet, yeah, they will try to complain. No, yet they haven't. At least nobody told me in person about that, but maybe they did, and I don't know it. How do you get the graphs? Is that with Navigraph? You mean the approach charts, these ones? That's Navigraph charts. So you already can see that we are in here. And nice feature is that you can go here and split. So you can see the airplane, and you see the map, and you see the chart itself. And nice one. Hello, Ivo. To what car I'm asking the size of the cockpit? You can compare the Honda Jet, assuming the Piper Cherokee is a Fiat 126B. I wouldn't say it's like car size, because in the car the seat is a bit wider. You don't have this, you know. Okay, on the right side you have the wall, but usually on the left the door is further. And size-wise, it's not really the smallest one. I would say it's like kind of medium SUV, maybe like BMW X1 or X3 or something. It's not really the smallest one. Just the getting inside is difficult. Like you can try to imagine that you are sitting in the back of your car, and then you want to get to the driver's seat. So that's a bit tricky. But once you get in, it's very comfy. So I would say like medium SUV. Hello, Ibo. Good evening. Welcome to 737 Aviation. We're just descending to Corsican, Ajaccio, the French island of Corsican, in this beautiful MG Honda Jet, which is still work in progress, but it's almost there, I guess, and I hope it's almost there. If you like the channel, if you're enjoying the video, please give me a like and subscribe to the channel, and more videos coming just anytime soon. As probably some of you know, we just started a new project, so Boeing 737 simulator type rating, which you can find as well on my channel. If you want to have more information about the Honda Jet itself, please be welcome to visit MG Honda Jet Discord page, which you can find in the description just below. So. And anyway, thank you very much for coming. Yeah, it's getting a bit turbulent here. Kilo Juliet 830. Yeah, 125 on here, then 85. So let's go with 8500 Z. And just let me double check the QNH search. A meter from Lima Fox Kilo Juliet, automated at 1800 UTC. And now we have 1830 UTC, so that's half an hour old. We should have new meter anytime soon. QNH 1029 and OSIG. Dew point is 5. Altimeter 1029, yeah. So we're still gonna land at runway 20 just to show you how does this visual approach look like. Nice. Cool. And back to map. So there are some traffics coming in. There's this one, which is probably Kilo Charlie Papa. I think it's Kilo Charlie Papa. Kilo Charlie Tango, sorry. And those two, I don't know who is it. But I can go to the VATSIM live map and take a look. And talking about the VATSIM, I'm not sure if I have switched off the Microsoft Flight Sim traffic. Hopefully yes. Yeah, there are two guys flying here, and they flying inbound. Lima Fox Kilo Juliet as well. In A320s actually. From Basel, and the other one is from Basel as well. So, but they're probably gonna be landing just before me anyway. So. Just to make sure we can go speed to 30, let's say. Now I just started to hear the engines, so that's the good altitude. At this altitude you're gonna hear the engines itself, yeah. Pretty much like it is. And we go down to 4,000 feet, which we're gonna start approach at. 4,000 and QNH 1029er. Do we have the new meter? Yeah, 830. 0406 knots, nothing very special. 1029er. 1029er is going to be set in here. And start reducing speed even further. So starting on this flight, we will do the series of flight around the world. And this one is our, let's say, second segment. We flew from Geneva to Dubrovnik, Dubrovnik to Ajaccio, and then we'll continue probably in 737, let's say classic, probably. I like flying in 737 classic. Time-lapse gaming asking where do I buy this jet, so you can check the description below for MG Honda Jet Disco page to check the details. Jerzy did not sit in 126P. I had an accident with that, so I was even flying in the 126P. Long time ago. And we should reach 4,000 feet around India Sierra. Okay, fuel is balanced. We have 1,790 and some in center tanks, so lights are normal. We haven't changed anything. Air compressed, descending set, and the passengers are strapped in. 10 checks completed. So what's happening with these two guys? They just flying into final, and Kilo Charlie Tango is on final as well. Just wondering what they are going to do. I can reduce speed further to 180, let's say, so I will give them the time. It's a shame that there's no control, yeah. I would like to have some control in VATSIM just to talk to somebody, but what to do? Maybe when we fly into the continental Europe, it will be a bit busier. Yeah, let's use some speed brake. To reach 4,000 at India Gulf. And let's go to chart, approach, and we have VPT Alpha. Or VPT Bravo. No, VPT Alpha. That's the one I want. So fingers crossed we won't crash. Hopefully not, of course. but you never know. Never say never. And they just went outbound somewhere, so I don't know what's the plan with that. They just still flying outbound, so I leave them alone. So you see the airport, maybe the cockpit view will be better for that, or maybe not because I cannot zoom. So the airport is just in here, so we have to fly into the valley, turn back and land, which doesn't look really complicated unless you have very bad weather. So let's go to charts, and I'm not depicted on this chart, but okay. What's the minimum for this approach? It's gonna be 4,000, so I should see the airport from 4,000, and I actually do see it from 4,000. So technically I can start the approach. We're going to 022 and then turn right to 02 at point Charlie. So approaching India Sierra, if I'm correct in here. And they just turned left for some reason. They're gonna take long final probably. And Kilo Charlie Tango is on short final, which shouldn't interfere with me too much. So the chart is here, and let's go to half, so why not? And we're 4,000 feet in here, so we basically pass this coastline and then fly into, and then turn and land. So it doesn't really look complicated, and it's not really complicated itself. And I can use CSC on 180 because why not? Okay, so we are visual of the ground. We can go heading select. I cannot create all these waypoints, so that's one of the problems with the Garmin of the working title. That means that I'm gonna fly kind of, you know, blindfolded, but I hope we manage. Wind option 3, please. There's almost no wind, so I could land on 02, but what's the reason to fly to Ajaccio to land on 02? And there is no traffic. Okay, we are just in here now, so you can see the airplane itself. And yeah, these guys are flying all together in the same position, so they're not really following the VATSIM rules anyway. And Jedi Fortitude joining left downwind runway 20 Ajaccio. And the city itself is just over the coastline here, so that's the place when Napoleon was born, if somebody is into the history stuff. I would go left a little. keep turning left to something about, yeah, I don't remember the course 045. The track 045, and there is no wind almost 044, just to keep track on. Can start descending just anytime soon, VPT Alpha. To 1500. Yeah, too early, 1500. And we just should descend after passing up the airport, so we are just above the airport, and I can start descending. I would give it about 1000 feet per minute, and now turn to 022. Reduce the speed. I'm even too close to the runway, so let's correct that one. Flaps takeoff approach. Speed is checked, flaps takeoff approach, and I go speed 140. And increase rate of descent, because I'm getting too close. Again, so gear down, speed 120. And now you can see that we are actually quite close to the ground in here. And flaps landing. Speed is checked, flaps landing. Missed approach altitude is 4000 feet. And disconnected the autopilot. VREF 111. And in the worst case, if I won't be able to vacate before they land, I just disconnect the VATSIM for a while, so I'm not disturbing anyone. And runway heading gonna be to 02. Yeah, there we go, there's the runway. And we're kind of on profile. Jedi Fortitude on to my final runway 20 in Ajaccio. So I told you before, probably, if you've been on the last stream, that it's really nicely handling manual wise. So the feeling of the airplane is really close to real one. Which was surprising because that's Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, and usually we don't get this kind of feeling. Usually get this, you know, not realistic like the default Cessna. I will vacate first to the right anyway, so pretty sure that I will manage before they come. So I have 4 reds just to be quicker on the vacating. And yeah, touchdown. He just landed, come on. Yeah, I will manage to vacate probably. It's nice that somebody called anything. Okay, welcome to Ajaccio. Okay, that was a close one, so don't take example from me. I just landed on the other runway. I mean, those guys didn't announce anything, but it was me landing on the other runway. So once we vacated, we're gonna set the trim up to 4 units, retract the flaps, and that's it on the jet. All other things will be done by the computer, so it will basically switch off the lights and transponder and everything. So don't really have to care about anything here. Just wondering where the Kilo Charlie Tango went, at which position you parked. I will stop in here for a second. And yeah, I have the default static airplanes for some reason, even if I switch them off. Okay, chart, info, airport. And last time I've been to Ajaccio, I was parked on GA apron, so I should follow Golf 1. And let's do it like this. Again, I shouldn't do it like this, so I'm just I will turn back and go to general aviation parking. Trying not to hit the car at least. And what we can do, and we quite often do, is single engine taxi in Honda. What? Not this direction. So we can shut down one engine and it will go nicely on the single engine. What is the message? Low fuel, right fuel pressure low. Okay, so we'll just drive through me probably. Anyway, let's just do that. Why not? You're already here. So. I guess I will need to switch down the airport vehicles density, otherwise I keep getting this stuff. Looks like car parking, but general aviation parking. Okay. Anyone moving? Something? Not really, no? Yeah, I just parked between this bus and this fueling truck. It looks safe enough for me. And we are close to a fueling station, which is just here. So as soon as I set the parking brake and turn off the engines, I will get probably the fueling status. So parking brake is set. The engines are going down. Come on. Yeah, there we go. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ajaccio. After quite an intense traffic approach, welcome to Ajaccio. With our brand new Honda Jet. If you need the details about this airplane, please visit the Discord page of Marwan, who is the developer of this airplane. And that's it. If you are new to the channel, you like it, please subscribe. And I hope to see you next time, guys. Before we leave, I will definitely answer questions on the chat, if you have any questions, of course. So we're still stationary and the brake is set. It's nice landing. Thank you very much, Gamix. It was not, otherwise I shouldn't go all the way around. Honda brakes quickly. On the dry runway, it's actually braking nicely, but if the runway is wet, it's bad. You have to believe me, it's bad, because it has the anti-skid system that is very touchy. So you touch it and it will go off and just release the brakes. Do you always go to GA Park? Depends. Depends. In some airports you just go to regular stands. Even they sometimes get you taxi to the jetty, to the gate with jetty, but yeah, that's a junkyard, definitely. I disable all vehicles on ground crews. They show up when I request them. Yeah, I would definitely have to do that. I use ambitious pilot's pushback tool. Is it? Ambitious pilot's pushback tool. Let me type it in. Ambitious pilot's pushback. Toolbar pushback. Okay, gonna use that later probably, or download that later. 85 people. God, that's a lot of them. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for coming. Welcome to the 737 Aviation. Thanks for watching, and thanks to Marwan for providing us with this beautiful airplane. Hopefully to be released very soon. I honestly think that that's already good power level, so I don't see any reason not to release that yet from my side, definitely. Of course there are some minor issues, but it's not like serious stuff like Captain Sim 777, which was, you know, total garbage anyway. So guys, battery is coming to off, and I'm leaving the airplane here. And thank you very much. I hope to see you next time on the next sectors of our tour around the world. So probably next sector we fly a 737 already out of Corsica, and maybe then jump into some business jets, maybe Honda if you ask for that, or any other ones as well. Thank you very much guys, and fly safe. Bye bye.